Stop what you're doing, just for a moment. Take a breath, because what I'm about to share with you was not meant to reach you by accident. Nothing about this moment is random. You didn't stumble onto this video, you were guided here. Whether you call that God, the universe, source, or something you can't quite name yet, something greater than coincidence brought you to this exact place at this exact time. And there's a reason for that. Because you are one of the chosen ones. And this month, this very month, is the turning point you have been waiting for. Not next year, not when things calm down, not when you finally feel ready, now. But before we get to what's coming, we have to talk about something first. We have to talk about the delay. If you've been feeling like you've been stuck in slow motion while everyone else seems to be moving forward, I need you to hear this clearly. You were not left behind. You were being prepared. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied, and most chosen ones confuse the two. You looked at your situation, the closed doors, the failed attempts, the opportunities that seemed to disappear right before they were supposed to happen, and you thought the universe had forgotten about you. But here's what was actually happening. You were in the forge. You know how a blacksmith works? They take raw metal, strong, yes, but unrefined. And instead of immediately shaping it, they throw it into the fire. Not to destroy it, not because they've given up on it, but because fire is the only thing that can make the metal ready to become what it's meant to be. That was you. Every rejection was the fire. Every setback was the hammer. Every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every time you cried and asked, "Why is this so hard?" That was the forge doing its work. And chosen ones are not built quickly. They are built carefully. Because the weight they're being prepared to carry requires a foundation that cannot crack under pressure. If the breakthrough had come when you first wanted it, you would not have been ready to sustain it. The delay protected you. Think about the people you've seen who got everything quickly. The overnight success stories, the people who seem to have the golden touch right away. Now look closer. How many of them were able to hold it? How many built something that lasted? How many crumbled under the pressure of success they hadn't been shaped to carry? The delay was not punishment. The delay was protection. But here's the crucial part, and this is what I need you to really take in. The season of delay is ending. Before we talk about what's coming this month, I want to make sure you understand exactly who this message is for. Because not everyone will feel what I'm saying, and that's okay. This message has a specific frequency, and if it's reaching you, if something in your chest is responding to these words, then this is for you. Here are the signs that you carry the mark of the chosen ones. The first sign, you have always felt like you didn't fully belong. Not in a sad way, or at least not only in a sad way, but in a way that made you feel like you were constantly looking at the world slightly differently than others around you. Like there was a glass wall between you and the ordinary path that everyone else seemed to walk without thinking about it. Other people seemed satisfied with things that left you feeling empty, and for a long time you didn't know if that was a gift or a curse. It was a gift. It means your soul came here with a specific assignment, and it could never let you settle for less than that assignment, no matter how tempting the easy path looked. The second sign, you have been through things that should have broken you, and somehow you are still here. Look back at your own timeline for a moment. The losses, the betrayals, the moments where everything fell apart at once. Most people don't survive what you've survived, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. Yet here you are, still breathing, still searching, still believing, even on the days when belief felt like the most irrational choice in the world. That kind of resilience is not common. That is not luck. That is preparation. You were kept. The third sign, you feel a deep, persistent pull towards something greater, even when you can't name exactly what it is. There is something inside you that refuses to accept that this is all there is. A knowing, a quiet but relentless conviction that you were made for something more, something that matters, something that will outlast.
Some call it calling. Some can't describe it at all. It's just a fire that won't go out, no matter how many times life tries to extinguish it. That fire is the signal, the fourth sign. People are drawn to you in ways you don't always understand. Even strangers open up to you. Even people who don't normally share with you. Even in your darkest moments, others have looked to you for something: strength, clarity, calm, light. You didn't ask for this role. You may have even resisted it, but it keeps finding you. Because chosen ones carry something in their energy that others can feel before a single word is spoken. It is a frequency of truth, and people who are hungry for truth are always drawn to those who carry it. The fifth sign. You are watching this video right now, in this season, at this exact moment in your life. That is not small. Now let's talk about what is actually shifting, because there is a very specific energy that this month is carrying, and if you are a chosen one, you need to understand how to move with it rather than against it. This month carries the energy of threshold. A threshold is not a destination. It's not the promised land. It's the doorway into the promised land. And the thing about a threshold is that it requires one specific action from you. You have to step through it. The door doesn't walk through itself. The opportunity doesn't chase you down. The breakthrough doesn't force its way into your life while you're standing still. The threshold appears, and then it waits to see if you will move. Many chosen ones have had thresholds appear before, and they hesitated. Not because they were weak, but because the weight of past disappointments made them afraid to fully believe again. They'd been burned before. They'd gotten their hopes up before. And then they watched the door close. So they waited for absolute certainty before stepping forward. But certainty is not what thresholds require. Faith is what they require. And this month, for the chosen ones, the thresholds are opening in 3 specific areas of life. The first threshold: purpose and direction. If you have been confused about your path, if you've been wandering and questioning and second-guessing, this month brings clarity. Not all at once, not like a lightning bolt necessarily, but like the sunrise. Gradual, undeniable. Warmth and light reaching further and further until you can see clearly what you could not see before. Pay attention to what comes to you this month. The ideas that won't leave you alone. The opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. The people who suddenly show up and open doors you didn't even know existed. These are not coincidences. These are coordinates. The second threshold: relationships and alignment. This month will bring a profound sorting in your relationships. Some connections that have been draining you will naturally fall away. Not with drama, not necessarily with conflict, but with a quiet, graceful ending. Let them go. Don't chase what the universe is removing. And in the space that opens up, new alignments will form. People who match your frequency. People who see your vision without needing you to over-explain it. People who add to your life rather than subtract from it. The chosen ones are being gathered right now. Across cities, across countries, even across virtual spaces, people are being repositioned to find each other. If someone enters your life this month with unusual timing, pay attention. That meeting may be more significant than it appears. The third threshold: abundance and expansion. This is the one many of you have been waiting for, and I want to speak carefully here, because chosen ones are often taught to feel guilty about wanting material provision, as if desiring financial freedom is somehow unspiritual. It is not. You cannot fulfill a large assignment on an empty stomach. You cannot serve the world from a place of desperate scarcity. The abundant life was always part of the design, not as the goal itself, but as the fuel for the mission. This month, channels of provision that have been blocked are beginning to open. Opportunities that seemed dead are reviving. Ideas you had that you abandoned, revisit them. Resources that seem impossible to access are becoming accessible. The energy of this season is expansive, and those who are positioned to receive will begin to see movement where there was only stillness. But, and this is critical, You must be positioned to receive. Positioning is everything. A satellite dish pointed in the wrong direction receives nothing, not because the signal isn't being sent, but because the receiver is misaligned. You have to align yourself with what's coming, and there are specific things that will keep you misaligned no matter how much you want the breakthrough. The first misalignment: living in the past story.
Your past story is not your future identity. But many of you are still introducing yourself to yourself using old chapters. I'm someone who always struggles financially. I'm someone who can never keep a relationship. I'm someone whose dreams don't work out. That story is over. This month, you begin writing a new chapter. But you can't write new words on pages you refuse to turn. The past experience informed you, shaped you, prepared you, but it does not define what comes next. Start speaking about your future in present tense. Not as fantasy, as declaration. I am stepping into my purpose. I am attracting the right relationships. I am walking into abundance. Speak it before you see it. That is what faith actually looks like in action. The second misalignment: passive waiting. There is a version of spiritual belief that becomes an excuse for inaction. I'm just waiting on God. I'm trusting the universe. And while surrender is real, and trust is real, they are not the same as paralysis. Noah was told a flood was coming. He didn't sit down and wait for the ark to appear. He picked up his tools and built it. You have been given vision, gifts, and resources. They may feel insufficient for what you're called to do. Use them anyway. Start with what you have. Move in the direction of the vision even when you can't see the whole road. The path reveals itself to those who are walking, not to those who are standing still, waiting for a guarantee before they take the first step. The third misalignment: comparison. This one quietly destroys more chosen ones than almost anything else. You look at someone else's highlight reel and measure it against your behind-the-scenes footage. You see their breakthrough and feel shame about your own timeline. You start to question whether your calling is real because it doesn't look like theirs. Your path was custom designed. It doesn't look like anyone else's path because it was never meant to. The gifts you carry are specific. The people you are meant to reach are specific. The impact you are meant to make is specific. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, your movement accelerates. The fourth positioning practice: daily intentionality. Every morning this month, before you pick up your phone, before the noise of the world rushes in, sit with yourself. Even if only for 5 minutes. Ask, what is mine to do today? Not what is urgent. Not what is expected. What is yours? What small action, what choice, what step belongs to this day? Then do that thing. Breakthroughs are not usually single dramatic moments. They are the accumulation of daily, faithful, intentional choices, each one a brick, until suddenly there is a wall, a foundation, a house.
I have to warn you about something. Because this is the part that catches so many chosen ones off guard, and I don't want that to happen to you. Before a significant breakthrough, there is almost always a significant test. This is not a punishment. It is not a sign that things are falling apart. It is the final examination before the next level. And if you don't know that the test is coming, when it arrives, it can look like evidence that the breakthrough isn't real. That you were foolish to hope. That you should give up. The test often looks like a sudden increase in doubt, thoughts that whisper, who do you think you are, this is too good to be true, nothing ever really changes for you. A circumstantial storm, something in your finances, your relationships, or your health hits a difficulty right as things seem to be getting better. A temptation to return to old patterns, old relationships, old habits, old ways of thinking, presenting themselves as comfortable, familiar alternatives to the uncertainty of the new. When these things happen, and for many of you, they will happen this month, recognize them for what they are. The storm before the shore. The darkness before dawn. The resistance before the breakthrough. The weightlifter who stops at the moment of maximum resistance never gets stronger. But the one who pushes through that exact moment, that is where the growth happens. Do not quit this month. Whatever comes, do not quit. I want you to do something with me right now. This is not symbolic. This is not just a nice way to end a video. This is an act of alignment. And I need you to mean it. Say this, out loud if you can, or in your heart if you must: I release the timeline I tried to control. I accept the preparation I was given, even the parts that hurt. I am ready for what this season carries. I will not shrink back at the threshold. I will step forward. I am a chosen one, not because I am perfect, but because I was selected for this assignment, and I accept it. The delay is over. This month, everything changes. You have survived everything that was meant to stop you. Every closed door kept you from settling somewhere you were never meant to stay. Every painful season refined something in you that could not have been refined any other way. Every moment of darkness grew your capacity to appreciate the light, and to be the light for others who are still in theirs. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, at exactly the right moment, carrying exactly what this world needs from you. The chosen ones are rising. And you are one of them. This is your month. Don't waste it. Share this with someone who needed to hear it today. Subscribe for weekly messages for the chosen ones.